What was your high school's wildest not safe for work scandal? One of our history teachers had been a stripper before becoming a teacher. This was years earlier. She was a stripper before she even went to college to get a teaching degree. We found out about this because the father of one of my classmates had been a regular customer of hers and recognized her at a student-teacher conference. He told his son, who obviously told the entire school. Who the F tells their son, yo, your teacher is a stripper? I used to see a lot. Principal sexually harassed a teacher. Gym teacher was fired for being too close to female students. I couldn't get any more details, but I did witness his strange behavior towards females in the class many times. One girl had a key to his office, students having sex in bathroom/second theater. Nobody ever got caught in the theater as far as I know. There was also a stabbing my freshman year. I didn't witness that itself, but I was in the hallway that it happened on and witnessed the loud and panicked crowd. They almost cancelled my girlfriend's prom because there were too many stabbings that month. Not one stabbing, too many stabbings. I think it was 4. Imagine that school assembly. If y'all can't stop stabbing each other, we are gonna have to cancel prom. We had this kid who was super pissed about his ex-girlfriend getting with a new guy, so decided he was going to kill the new guy right in front of her. Their class was all lined up outside for gym, and he walks up to the guy, goes to pull the gun out of his pants, accidentally hit the trigger, and shoots himself in the dick, and through his thigh. He ran just far enough to collapse on my English teacher's doorstep. He survived. Edit. I'm sorry folks, I honestly do not know the fate of the penis. I just remember all the parents and teachers being so concerned about the students. Oh no, a school shooting. And we were all just, what kind of effing idiot shoots themselves in the dick? New question. Teachers of Reddit, how hard is it to not F the students? Former high school teacher here. I've never F'd any of my students, but I got my job because my predecessor allegedly did. One of the girls were F'ing the IT admin. She was 16 or 17 when that started. Had an update from an old classmate nearly 20 years later, and not only have they stayed together, they're married, got 3 kids and live the upper middle class suburban dream life. One of the PE teachers was very not secretly in a relationship with one of the upper 6th girls, US senior. The day after she left school he left his missus and he and the girl shacked up and later married. Last I looked they were still happily married with a couple of kids. Our science teacher was a porn star in a past life. Someone in the school found a video she was in his dad's porn stash. It was a huge scandal in our conservative town. She was let go, which sucked because she was really an excellent teacher. It became a national news story. She was on Dr. Phil about it. Despite numerous campaigns by the students, she was never hired back. Girls track coach gave members of the girls track team rides home and massages. Got escorted out of the school in cuffs one day. This also happened at my high school. We had a football coach effing one of the cheerleaders. I was so blind to it all. He was my positional coaches and I had respect for him, so I never believed it. He never talked about it and I was friends with that cheerleader, and she always denied it. 2 years after graduation they got married because she was already pregnant with their 2nd child. She dropped out of college her 1st semester and became a stay-at-home mom. Her Facebook page now is just really sad. It has been almost 16 years since we graduated and she still seems miserable. All her dreams just vanished and she is still married to that coach, who is getting older and fatter. He is over 60 and she is in her 30s. If porn had realistic endings. I've worked enough divorce and dramatic civil type cases to know that hot, risky sex ends like this 99.99% of the time. Eventually whatever was making it risky passes, and then it's just sex with someone, and if that was the only thing bringing 2 people together, congratulations you former daredevils, on your lukewarm mediocre relationship. The soccer coach was sleeping with 4 of the soccer players, 16 to 18 years old, 2 of them being other teachers' daughters. They had it completely secret until his wife found a journal where he wrote about each time he slept with each girl on the team. At the end of the school day we walked out and there was 4 or 5 cop cars, and they were walking him out of his building in cuffs. If I remember correctly, the girls didn't have to come back to school for the rest of the school year. It was close to the end anyway. Everyone found out their names pretty quickly. Biggest scandal at that school in decades. You gotta love it when people get caught because they kept notes on the illegal shit they've done. This was a year or two after I graduated, but there was this one teacher at my high school who was fired for, in no particular order of weirdness, buying booze for students, smoking weed with students, buying weed for students, buying weed from students, writing a paper for a student for a different class in exchange for weed, driving certain students who skipped school to a bar in a different city several hours away, sending a student a completely unsolicited text that said, "I've never wanted to cheat with anyone in my life, but I want to with you." Offering to buy a student a $500 knife and give it to him at school, explaining it thus: "If I can walk around campus with marijuana on me, you can walk around with a shipping box with a knife in it. Kiddo, you can't walk around campus with marijuana on you." She was the scripture teacher. That position at that school, at least when I was there, was as cursed as the defense against the dark arts job at Hogwarts. Step 4. Reevaluate my personal biases. A student was having sex with many girls in the gym locker room or music practice rooms. This was discovered due to an explosion in STD rates. I don't recall if it was chlamydia or gonorrhea. Yuck. I'm pretty sure that's what the music practice rooms were mainly used for at my school. And I thought I was the only one. Our history teacher made multiple sexual remarks to a female classmate. One time he pulled her shirt up because her cleavage was distracting. He retired not long after that. I had a friend in one of my high schools who had a pretty large chest for that age, 16 to 17 years old. She had a teacher that used to call her Double D. Her initials were DD. Always kept her staying late after school, making creepy comments, the usual. Apparently every school has at least one old creep like that. Some dude dared this other dude to F one of the poor goats at our AG barn. The dude that didn't F the goat filmed the other dude. It quickly got out around school, and the dude that filmed it got suspended for a while for having the video, and I don't remember what actually happened to the guy who actually committed the act, but he finished out school at our high school, and to this day people still bar when they see him sometimes, and they gave him a nickname as well. The girl who actually owned the goat was pretty traumatized about the fact her goat was sexually assaulted. Edit. This happened in the great state of Texas for all of you curious folks who also happen to know someone who also effed a poor goat. 2 students coordinated jerking off an English class. Who won? Asking the real questions. Not the person sitting next to them, that's for sure. Someone put gear oil in the machine shop teacher's coffee. Damn near killed him. A kid apparently jacked off in the back of the class. Someone apparently got it on their phone. Cops came. Person who recorded it got charged. He sat where I did, but in a different class period. So I switched my chair for a new, less nutty chair. Turns out, every other class before me had also switched the chair, so we couldn't find the nut chair. We even made black lights with our phones to look for the chair. It was great. Nut chair. Girl 1 sends nudes to girl 2's boyfriend. Girl 2 prints the nudes out and puts them in every unlocked locker and on all of the walls in the school. This kid to TF this girl in the quad after giving her way too much ecstasy. She had a seizure during the whole thing. Was awful. My statistics teacher got fired when he accidentally turned on the projector to show his Mac screen to the whole class, and a porn site was opened. Wow, what were the odds? All these pedophile teacher stories, and all my high school did was start a rumor a girl named Janie didn't have a butthole. We had a girl who licked another girl's butthole to get into a party. She sounds like a solid add to the party. We had a charity thing in high school where you'd raise money for cancer. The amount being raised was shown on a thermometer, and every limit would force a teacher to shave their head. On the very top was this French teacher. Anyways, the initiative was due to finish after lunch recess. A bunch of people are in gym shaving their heads and trying to raise money. Bills are flying down from the bleachers and we raised just enough money right at the bell. The French teacher was not down and ran away, causing all the students to chase her into the bathroom, banging on the door and shit. She soon after had a bit of a mental breakdown. Someone at school found out her Lava Life profile and she left. Also, some students stole all the money raised in the initiative from the gym. What's Lava Life? Looks like a dating site. For volcanoes. My senior year we had a freshman who became obsessed with another girl in my class. He would call her all the time, not sure how he got her number, show up at her house, and follow her around school. His harassment started to become sexually graphic and increasingly angry/violent. She told him to stop, and a few guys on the baseball team he was on also told him to cool it. This only intensified, and resulted in him sending her a very graphic and threatening voicemail. The girl finally turned everything over to the police and school. His baseball coach was disgusted and permanently kicked him off the team, and he was suspended from school for 2 weeks. He went home that day, called the girl again and said, "I hope you're happy you ruined my life," and shot himself in the head. An English teacher would make out with a student during his planning period while his wife was teaching classes next door. After school, he would make excuses to his wife about having to stay late at school and meet the student at hotel rooms. He was led out of the school in handcuffs in front of the entire school. Funny enough, the cops gave him the opportunity to go out the back door of the school and not make a scene, but he refused. I actually witnessed this. So, 2 students with mental disabilities went to the toilet together. Exactly what you think happened. The teachers forced the door open to stop them. End result of this, the parents of both students each argued that neither had the capacity to give consent. Both students were sent to court on rape charges against each other. Of course it was their parents' choice to do this. Charges were dismissed in the end though. But that was one hell of a month for everyone in the know. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.